Like, you don't have to put on or try to be somebody else or whatever you think I may like or whatever somebody else may like. Just be your authentic self.
It's the worst. And I was like, let me hurry up and get out of this store. I'll this bitch get arrested naked. I'm like, girl, it's not that serious. Like,
I added swimmer myself.
no?
You are?
I'm sorry now.
You are?
Huh?
I thought you didn't know how to swim.
I said I'm not. I know how to swim for my own benefit.
Like I'm in quicksand and I'm like, Daddy, I love you, bro. I want to be this close. I don't want to go yet.
I think people try to kind of be what they think you need, and it's not really that, or try to operate in a space that and feel like they're being an ally, but they're not really being an ally. Because I tell people this all the time. It's like at work, especially when you're a new person at work.
I wish we could be a bit more unified in some of our approaches to how we try to address inequalities or negativity that's directed towards the community.
Welcome to another episode of the Off Topic Podcast. How's everyone doing?
Good evening.
Fantastic.
I got Hayward with me today.
What's up, everybody?
DJ Evox.
Hey.
And look who it is.
Hey.
Welcome back, Stovall.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes.
What's up, team?
Good.
What's going on? We haven't seen your shining face in so long.
Glad to be here. Glad to see y'all faces. Double dose for me. Double dose this week for me.
I know.
Yeah. I would say how was everyone's weekend, but I saw you guys all over the weekend. So definitely a great time was had. Friendsgiving, a lot of memories made. It was a good time.
It was a fun time.
Absolutely a good time.
It was the whole weekend, and Stovall was in rare form.
Was she?
I
don't think you got to see it. You might have left already. Were you? No, you were still here when we were playing that game.
Yeah, we were playing.
I know you freaking lying. I love that game.
Yes.
No, not that one. The other one we were playing Mafia.
Mafia. Yeah.
And she kept saying, "Listen, if you if you have a J."
Well, to be fair, to be on her side, we had a faulty player. So.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to our faulty player. I don't want to name you, but shout out to everybody that had a J card during Mafia. Everyone.
Right.
Oh my
god! Then they played. You guys played. I know you effing lying. And I heard that was a good time.
Oh my god!
I missed that. When did this happen?
They played. That was a late night edition.
Oh, that was a late
yeah,
night.
they played that. They played it late in the night. So yeah, I heard about it the next day. And I think the highlight for me was when Stovall came from outside or came from somewhere, and she, I don't know what was in her spirit, but she walked up to
don't do it. Don't do it.
She was like, "Hey, cutie." I don't know. Y'all was still here at the time, but she walked up. She was like, "Hey, cutie."
Shout out to all of the willing participants. Thank you for participating.
Oh yeah.
No harm, no foul. I had a good foul. I had a great time.
It was.
That's all that matters.
Definitely memorable. Then you had already left Stovall, but we hung out on Sunday. We had a good time there. We went to XOXO, had a good time. So it was just a good weekend all overall. Just fellowshipping, community, just laughs, everything. A lot of memories. So definitely appreciative of that. All right, y'all ready to get on into it?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's look at this robbery situation.
Police say dispatch could hear a woman screaming as Mondragon tried to force his way into her home through the garage door. The woman told police a truck followed her home from a nearby Taco Bell. She said the truck then pulled into her driveway and an armed man attempted to get inside her home.
I just heard one gunshot go off first. Then it was followed by two more.
Video shows officers holding guns running to the back alley where they found Mondragon shot and a loaded pistol lying next to him. The woman called 911, grabbed a handgun, and shot Mondragon, who was later taken to a hospital and is now charged with burglary. The woman and her family didn't answer the door on Monday. However, her neighbors are thankful she's safe.
Because all these alleys are pretty much dark. So, you know, someone that's looking to do something up to no good, you know, they see something like that and just like, but luckily, you know, she had safety and God with protection, you know, and a blessing over her. So I'm glad that, you know, it could have went a lot worse.
Stovall, I know you happen to love a good Taco Bell, so.
Ooh, I was looking at that and I said, this could have been me. I mean, some parts. Jesus.
I was just about to say, you can't even go to the Taco Bell anymore.
Oh, what is going on in the world? Like, before we get into this clip, like, I mean, not that I want to like strategize how he could have done that better, but like criminals are so bold now. I don't want to give them a way out, but like, why are people so bold? There's no rules. Everything is just a go. And it ain't even, some of the time nowadays, it's not even for a reason. It's not because of your money or your jewels or whatever you have safe in your house. It's just like wickedness in people.
Yeah, they're doing
People are
stuff.
evil. Yeah,
Doing stuff just for sport nowadays. Yeah.
For sport, I like
they
that.
don't think there's any consequences.
Say that again, Brian.
I said, and they often don't. I don't think people even think that there are consequences for their actions, so they're not worried about there being like getting caught or anything.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily think about them, you know, that there's anything that's going to happen to them.
I feel like a lot of them don't care either. Like
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, let's be honest. In some cases, there are no consequences. I mean, if you
sure.
think about it, I mean, not only are there consequences in the immediate, but then I look, you know, I watch the ID channel and all the things and everything. And you see these cold cases and stuff that go cold for shit years. And then what is it? The person that committed the crime and then died and everything like that, they're still trying to uncover the case. So nowadays people feel like they can outsmart the system or outsmart everything else and get away with it. So
yeah,
it's disheartening, honestly. And I hate to say it, but it may only get worse.
Another thing, like, why is it that the people that are supposed to be victims now, why are those people the ones that have to fight the hardest to stay out of trouble?
What do you mean?
Like for instance, this shooting, and we're hearing it more and more. People have a justified shooting, but yet have to go through the scrutiny that they have to go through with the police. Like I literally quit carrying my pistol once they made it where everybody just can carry and you not have it. I literally had to switch to mace because there's so many shootings and it's just like the criminal justice system is like on it and they want somebody to pay. And I'm like, this is not fair. And it's just not with this realm. It's like with different realms of life. Like if you're a landlord, why do squatter have rights? I'm sorry.
That is true. That's
like,
true.
You know what I mean? And like, I've never been locked up. I don't want to have to go downtown just to go through the motions when I had a justified shooting. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like everybody is looking to get someone now in this era. And that's scary too.
Yeah. So you feel like you quit carrying your pistol for not to get caught up in a bad situation.
Just not to get caught up in something unnecessary. Yeah. Like I still have it, but as far as like keeping it on me, yeah, like everyone here in Indy, everyone is carrying, felon or not. It's just unsafe. So I'll keep it close. But like I've already decided like my go-to will be my mace or this little rubber bullet things that I have first. Because like the older that I get, I don't even want to go down that road to try to prove that it was an okay shooting when like this dude followed me home from Taco Bell. I'm at my property.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know that when they showed up that she was probably detained for some time.
I'm
trying
sure
to ascertain exactly what happened. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the initial thing, you're gonna go through that, but like nowadays, like what do we have body cameras for? Not to change it, but why do we have body cameras? because we're still seeing shootings and police are getting justified. Like, this is crazy world that we live in.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, because, and I think, can't you cut them on and off, you know what I'm saying, at will? So it's not really, I mean, it's one thing to say you have it on and stuff like that, but it's not really serving the purpose that we would think it would be for. And so then when they walk up on you and you trying to record the situation just to kind of give your own self-proof, then you're in violation of some kind of made up law or something like that. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like that lady, the last time we were on here, we talked about that lady in her kitchen where the police, she called the police, right? And then she ended up getting shot and killed. Like, it's just too much. It's scary.
So real quick about these rubber bullets, is that they go in a gun, like an actual gun, and you shoot it? Or
it looks like a gun, but it's not. It looks more like a laser, and it's just a heavier weighted. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
she got an arsenal.
I mean, I do have an arsenal as well, but I'm just saying, everybody go to the gun range. Like, go learn how to shoot. I'm around a lot of dudes all the time, and I see them with these pistols, but I'm like, how many can actually shoot? How many can actually aim?
I know I can.
Yeah.
You said you can't, or you can't?
I cannot. Yeah, I've only been to the gun range once, so I need to go more.
Yeah. You better get some practice in before the 20th. And everything, and there and after.
Yeah.
So we know President-elect Trump will be taking office in January, and a big topic was the Project 2025. And I think they kind of shifted from it and called it something different. But let's get into learning a little bit more about Project 2025.
GOP allies admitted that Project 2025 was a plan all along, less than 24 hours after Trump's win was called. Matt Walsh, a right-wing commentator, wrote on X, "We can finally say that, yeah, actually Project 2025 is the agenda." But whether Walsh was trolling or not, Stephen Miller, who was in a Project 2025 recruiting video, was just named Trump's chief of staff for policy. Since 2021, Miller's been running the right-wing group America First Legal, the first of many organizations to formally back Project 2025. Trump also named Tom Homan, a key contributor to Project 2025, as his borders are, to carry out mass deportations. Trump had tried to distance himself from the unpopular 900-page scheme to rescue the country from the grip of the radical left, but we all knew it was his plan all along. The overlap in his proposals from Project 2025 and his Agenda 47, the myriad of Trump allies behind the document, and the Heritage Foundation telling us Trump endorsed it in a secretly recorded video gave it away.
He's very supportive of what we do.
It wasn't the left that got tricked. It was those who voted for Trump, believing they would never try to implement Project 2025 and saying Democrats were just fear-mongering. Just some of the document's contents include an unprecedented expansion of the president's power, a national abortion ban, doing away with environmental protections, erasing any protections for LGBTQI+ people, eliminating the Department of Education, rolling back benefits for veterans, and so much more. Those on the left have been gearing up to fight the draconian plan, but a professor of public policy and political science at Northeastern University said there's a high probability a large portion of the plans get enacted if Republicans control the Senate and House. We're now in the around and find out stage of American politics.
A lot of people have been saying that it's now it is the F around and find out era, because we're going to see some things. What do you guys think about this Project 2025? Do you really think it's a real thing? Do you think it's just a myth?
No, it's absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just going to say, like, whether we call it Project 2025 or, any of the specific details take on, slight variations to make them a little bit more palatable to people. None of the things in Project 2025 are particularly new. Like, these are wish list items that, the far right has wanted to have for quite some time. And now I don't know why they ever tried to hide from it. Like, people were not concerned about it to begin with. And for those that said that, that wanted to play that they, didn't actually believe that this was happening or that it was actually of concern, I don't think that anybody actually believed that. Like, we all knew that this was what they want. This was their wish list. This is what they wanted. And now they're going to get it.
So you believe that people voted with the mindset that the Project 2025 is a real thing and they were okay with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and even people who it could potentially directly affect. I believe that that they had to know that was at least some of it was going to happen, and if they if they were holding out hope that the one little part that might affect them negatively wasn't going to happen, well, I kind of hope it does, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah. What do you think, Stovall?
I'll be curious to see how the authors now take credit for this. They're slowly coming out. People are saying that this person's attached to it, this person attached to it. So, yeah, I mean, it's a thing. I don't think anyone ever thought it was not a thing. I think not going into it in depth during the campaign was the thing, and that was the only thing. Other than that, everybody knew that this was a big portion of what's coming for 2025. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess sadly that was it presumptuous to call it Project 2025 to already know that we were going to get this put in place anyway. So Ronnie's not here, but her and I've been going back and forth like every day with different clips and all that kind of stuff like that. And one of the things we've been talking about was like, I truly believe that after January 20th, it's going to come out that, and this is just my theory, just my thought, that it's going to come out that the election was rigged. I feel like that it's hard for me to digest that he won by such a landslide, not just the electoral, but then the popular votes as well. And she brought something to my attention. She was saying that a couple of his rallies, he was saying something about along the lines that where, he don't need votes. Do you know what I'm saying? So in my mind, you already knew that what the outcome was going to be. And then one thing I'm learning in life now is that people read people. And so you already knew that, hey, once it's determined that I won the election, guess what? She's not going to contest it. That's not the kind of person that she is. So with that being said, I can go ahead and take over with no contest. She'll concede and everything will go the way it's supposed to be. And she's did exactly that, because she's not going to contest it, stuff like that. And so everything's going according to his plan, including some of the things that are listed in Project 2025, talking him, making that, having that speech about saying he's going to get rid of anybody that something about teaching segregation and stuff like that in schools, and you won't get the money to your school and they're going to give it back to the people. That's essentially getting rid of the Department of Education. Do you know what I'm saying? So all these things are falling in line. And I really think that it's going to come out that he really did not win. I just find it hard to believe. And could be my own naivety. Could be my own, I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now, but just not willing to accept it. But it's just hard for me to believe that he actually won by a landslide, and everything is falling into place the way it should for him. He won the election. The Republicans got the Senate. The Republicans have the House. Do you know what I'm saying? He's calling for a recess right after he gets inaugurated, so that there won't be anybody to contest some of these nominees that he has put up for his cabinet. And so it's like everything's falling in line.
Yeah. While I would love for it to be, to come out that the election was rigged, I do think there are just like a large number of people who just were not ready to see a woman as president, not particularly happy about seeing a Black woman as president, and just weren't really ready for what that change meant in their minds. So I think for a lot of it, while like she was being pushed and like all of that, I think there are that many more people that are against it, and they're probably like super quiet about it. So those are people that you didn't really need to sway their vote into another direction, because they already knew that they didn't want this. So it's like, we don't even want to hear what she has to say, because we already know from points A and points B that we don't want her to represent the United States. So I think unfortunately that's kind of where we are today.
I could respect that. But I just like, why would you vote against yourself?
People
do that all the time. Why would you vote against yourself?
They've done it for years.
It's very hard to explain a cult mentality. Yeah. It's just very hard. You don't know why. You just don't know why.
And The thing
like
that
the
I'm
Don
struggling
Lemons
with-
of the world and these other content creators that are going out and asking different people of the GOP party, like, what do you feel about this? And it's actually Trump's agenda, and but it was ran like it had something to do with the Harris party, and they're so against it. And then when they break it down, they're like, "Oh no, that can't be true." Well, wait a minute, I'm telling you it's true. Like,
Right.
you should have already done your research. Like, one that I seen recently was with the Obamacare. But the Obamacare is what the Republicans called it, the Affordable
Healthcare.
Care Act or whatever is the actually official name. So they're like, no, that's not the Obamacare. Like, that is the Obamacare. So yeah, like that just goes to show the cult mentality.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. I guess I'll have to get change my thought process. And I don't think I will, because I really still believe that it's gonna come out some shady stuff was happening along with that. I just find it hard to believe that.
Yeah.
I agree.
I feel like there may have been some things happening. The whole Elon Musk of it all. Like I just feel like
I mean
yeah.
It's crazy to me. I mean, like you popular vote and the electoral. I mean, everything is it's too seamless.
Yeah.
They should have. I mean, whoever created this plan should have had some kind of hiccup. Right now, it's too seamless. It's almost like
I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you for a second. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When January 6th happened, over people that believed vehemently what you believe right now, did you think they were crazy, or did you say they might be onto something?
I thought more so that they were disrespectful. That was my only thing too. You know, I think that was a bit much. I don't have any issue with you coming out here protesting stuff like that. But when you out there now, you're starting to harm people and you are defacing, you know, some of these the buildings that we, I guess, hold near and dear. Then I think that's the issue. So that I looked at more like a disrespectful type of situation. And here it is. This is just my thought that I feel like there's some shady stuff going on. I'm not acting on it. I'm not going out here, you know, banging on these people's doors in my neighborhood saying, listen, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I think, I guess in my mind, I just felt they were disrespectful.
So I guess the point that I'm making there is that those people felt as strongly or more strongly than you do about this very topic. And we, you know, they incited an insurrection and we called them crazy. We can't turn around and peddle the same lies that they did and, you know, try to save face. There are tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people involved in elections throughout this country. Is it possible that somebody removed some votes? Yes. Tens of millions of votes? Probably not. When the more likely explanation is, like you said, people are not ready for a black female president. And it sucks. It very much sucks. And we oftentimes, you know, want to provide outlandish explanations for simple things that we don't like, and it's because it's very uncomfortable. But which is more likely? Was there a massive fraud, or did we just not get the outcome because people are awful people?
I'm gonna side on the side of a massive fraud, only because of who the player is. Only because of who the player is. Like when they incited the insurrection, the you know, the Biden didn't pose a threat. He wasn't that kind of guy. This guy stands for everything, every bad thing possible. And so he's gonna lie, cheat, steal, kill, whatever to get ahead. So yeah, in my mind, you're gonna do whatever it takes.
That's fair.
I don't know.
I think it was a little bit of everything because, some of the stuff I'm just like, you are very bold to be 4 days out and you're pulling these shenanigans like with confidence.
Yeah,
like we're 4 days out. But I knew like something in my stomach was just feeling weird when he looked. I can't even remember who he was talking to, but he looked at him and he was like, "Oh, we got a secret to keep. I'm not going to tell you now." I'm just like, "Are you playing in our face?" Like, I don't know. I think it was a little bit of both. I think that he had the following. And I think he had the following. I mean, I think the grounds for us to know that he had the following is when you're literally January 6th is locked. People are getting locked up, and you guys are literally trying to get these people out of jail. Like, what? Like, what are we doing here? And then I'm sure there's a whole bunch of backdoor dealing. Like, I'm pretty for sure that backdoor dealing will fall into fraud somehow with all of the campaign rules. But I too also just think he had a very strong following, and I think the people that didn't follow him, I think, were against Kamala because of her previous job. So I think he had that in the positive for him because people know, especially black people, know how black people feel about the justice system, the police snitching, and all of that. And she had that going against her with black males and the black population. So you got part of the black population that's just not going to vote, or just people that are just not going to vote. Then you got the black population against her because of her previous career. So I just think it was a whole slew of things.
I got you. All right, we'll switch gears a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys take Spirit Airlines. I know I happen to fly them periodically.
No, you don't.
I swear to God, I do.
He definitely has.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
No, Brian has is okay.
I don't know how recently, but he definitely has.
Right.
I've flown for Spirit this year.
I digress.
I've flown them this year. Okay.
Have you guys flown Spirit before?
Yeah, I have.
How long ago? Because I know you guys do the American Airlines.
Correct, we do, because we try to standardize on one flight so we could get points and things.
Well,
right?
listen, me and my household, we try to go for the better deal.
Oh, so, okay. Well, let me know how that works out.
And that
is we're getting there. We're getting there. But anyway, let's get into the story about Spirit Airlines.
Imagine flying from Florida to Haiti, and you're about to land. And upon landing, you hear nothing but gunfire. You see the debris falling and things like that because the bullets is really hitting the inside of the plane. And also, the flight attendant is grazed by a bullet. So the pilot has to take off. He cannot land. He has to take off and reroute the plane to the DR, to the Dominican Republic. This sounds like something out of a movie, but it really happened. A Spirit Airline airplane was shot up when they were trying to land in Haiti from Florida. It is crazy. They are not, as of right now, no more planes will be allowed to land in Haiti until they find out, what's going on, make sure conditions are safe and things like that. But what do you guys think? Let's talk about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
And that's why
that was not the horror story about Spirit that I was expecting.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be something about, I wasn't familiar with it. I thought it was gonna be something about how they be late all the time and maybe ran out of gas or something like that. I didn't realize it was a whole shoot up. My God, today.
It's weird. It is scary, very scary. But to think about she said the flight attendant was grazed by a bullet. So then that means the bullets pierced the plane. So how was it safe? I guess that's what I'm thinking about, to fly from there to the DR, and be.
Oh, so then you wouldn't have the cabin pressure would be gone.
Yeah, that's just my initial thought, but yeah.
Yeah. I think I was more fixated on, I know, stupid me, but she was like, yeah, it had to reroute and land in the DR, the Dominican Republic. Girl, we know what the DR is, but okay.
You wanted to be sure for those.
But that's craziness, but then I also, to answer now you got me thinking like, well, if it hit the flight attendant when no one else was injured, no one else, you know what I'm saying? Like, where were they standing? How did this take place? And this sounds like it was like a shootout, right? Not like one shot going through, like a shootout. So
yeah, they showed like 3 different places where the bullets hit in the cabin. Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. This was new to me. Definitely new to me.
Yeah, that feeling is interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever encountered this. I have never been in a shootout on a flight, but I have
been in a shootout.
No, I've never been in a shootout, but I've been on 2 separate flights where the pilots were about to land and they had to take back off. And that was scary as shit. I will say that. Like, one was, I forget what it's called. I think maybe like a wind shear, where like the way that the winds were going, had we landed, we could have potentially like skid off the runway or something like that. And then the other case, I can't remember what it was, but it was just creepy to like literally touch the ground and then take back off. Like, what's going on? So yeah.
Oh yeah, that would freak me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been on an aborted flight or aborted landing.
Yeah.
You have or have not?
I have not.
Yeah, I don't.
That would be scary.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. All right, let's shift gears back to this election results. One of the most Googled searches after the election was about people asking how can they change their vote.
Here's how you can change your vote after you voted if you feel like you chose the wrong candidate. You can't, but a lot of you are looking it up. Specifically after the election, a lot of y'all are looking up how you can change your vote. This is November the 6th right here. People were looking up how they can change their vote after Donald Trump won. And the results just keep going up. They teetered off a little bit, but now people are starting to ask the question again, can I change my vote? You can't do that. It's over. Look at where the Google searches are coming from. Wisconsin, a red state. New Hampshire, a red state. Oklahoma, a red state. Pennsylvania, a red state. Idaho, a red state. These are all states that went for Donald Trump. And this right here is within the last 24 hours. People are still Googling this phrase and asking how they can change their vote after the election is done. But then again, look at the states that they're coming from. Places like North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama. I see California, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado. A lot of these states went for Donald Trump. I don't know if America's in the find out stage yet, but surely a lot of y'all did fuck around.
Sounds like a lot of people are having a little bit of buyer's remorse. If that's true.
Isn't that weird though? Like, why would the day after? I guess what would prompt them to search? It feels like bots. I'm gonna say that because
it could be.
There cannot be that many uninformed people that think they can change their vote, but whatever.
It could be that many uninformed people that went to the polls and voted for the wrong person.
But what would make them change that the next day? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like, what did he reveal already? Yeah. They were like, oh, no, made a mistake. Selecting Amber Rose for Secretary of State. I mean, Secretary of Education.
Not an education.
Oh God, no.
Secretary of Education. Please, Lord, let that not be real. I mean, but at this point,
it's not real.
Okay.
But yeah, like it just makes you think. Like, what are people searching? What's happening? What did they see that prompted them to say, "Oh wait, nope, I changed my mind. Like I want to go."
I know a number of people, because one thing that doesn't cover is how many people are actually searching that, other than the fact that it is, trending, or that there is a trend line. I know of people that in 2016 who voted for Donald Trump as kind of a
whim.
Yes, like what's the harm? And they almost thought it was humorous to do so, and then they were kind of they thought it was unfortunate that he won at that time. So I could definitely see people of that mindset. There was a lot of, I think some of the momentum around the Harris campaign may have given some people a false sense, and they were back to being experimental with their votes again, but. In terms of people that actually think that they can change their vote, I don't think there are that many out there that think that.
Yeah. That's my hope.
I don't know. I would like to believe that it's true that people, I mean, not that it can change anything, but the people may have woke up and realized, damn, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Because in so many cases, I think some people have. Well, we shall see. We shall see. So I know you mentioned Don Lemon earlier, and so he's been hot and heavy on social media talking about just some of the aftermath of the election. So here's what he has to say.
Hi, everyone. I have loved connecting with all of you on Twitter and then on X for all of these years. But it's time for me to leave the platform. I once believed that it was a place for honest debate and discussion, transparency and free speech. But I now feel it does not serve that purpose. In addition, starting this Friday, November 15th, X is implementing new terms of service, which among other things states that, quote, all disputes be brought exclusively in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas or state courts located in Tarrant County, Texas, end quote. The full terms of service can be found on my written statement or on the X website. Now, as the Washington Post recently reported on X's decision to change the terms, this, quote, ensures that such lawsuits will be heard in courthouses that are a hub for conservatives, which experts say could make it easier for X to shield itself from litigation and punish critics. I think that speaks for itself. You can find me on YouTube at The Don Lemon Show, or on TikTok and Facebook at Don Lemon, and on Instagram and Blue Sky at Don Lemon Official. I hope you will join me there. Thanks.
Well, I must say that I deactivated my X account following the election, actually, because I think Ronnie made a comment about it or something like that, and I was like, and I probably thought I was joking, but I sent her the proof that I had deactivated my account. It's been a little rough, but I'm making it. But yeah,
why is it so rough?
Why is it rough? Yeah.
It was just a good source of entertainment.
Roger that.
Do you have an X account? If you still have one, by all means, get on there and see what I'm talking about as far as the entertainment. Good entertainment. Good entertainment. But yeah.
While we're here, I just want to put this on the electronic record that Elon Musk, he's going to be another Donald Trump. Remember I said that a while ago? I said they're grooming him to have the same power. That man is a part of stuff that he just should not be a part of.
Absolutely.
Just like Donald Trump was back in the day. They're literally grooming him to do the same thing. Why is that man a part of our NASA program? Why? He's not a government official. Why are you guys giving him so much say-so to do this and fund this and have this idea? He has great ideas. He's definitely taking us into this futuristic world, but you're giving him too much power. And I feel like it's the same ramp up that we did for Donald Trump before we knew he was a household name. If you listen to the stars and the celebrities, they talk about it. Donald was the go-to man back in the day. He was the guy. He was the plug. He was in this, funded this, all of that. Look, and think about Elon now. He's in everything. Why does a man have a whole underground tunnel in a large ass state to get around? That means you had to allow him to be part of the department, the DOT, the Department of Transportation, to even build that. Why? He's not a government employee. He sits on no cabinet, none of that.
Oh, but he's about to be doing something with
man, what?
The Environmental Protection Agency, right?
No, not environmental. Some kind of efficiency.
Efficiency. That's right.
Him and that other billionaire are gonna be sitting on there.
Yeah, he about to run the whole thing. I'm telling you, we are grooming him just to be like Donald Trump. I just wanted to put that on record so we can go back and find this video.
I believe it. I don't dispute that. I don't dispute that in the least.
And now you have him teamed up with the same person. Is this ironic? This man is about to be 80 something. He's going to be exiting, and we need a new one. And who's going to be the new one? It's going to be horrible.
He ain't even American.
He's not?
No, he's South African. But I mean,
he's a citizen.
Yeah, he's a citizen. Yeah.
I don't mean that.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, he's
not. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I don't know anything about. I mean, I just recently found out his family structure is screwed, but like he got all kind of crazy stuff going on. You just have to look it up. But no, I didn't know anything about him. I know he's very powerful. He has a lot of money, and we continue to put him in places. And we're gonna have the same issue with him. I think it's just gonna be a little bit harder because we know his money is long, very, very long.
And I don't know much about this other billionaire that he's teaming up with, or that he's going to be teamed up with for this efficiency. What is it? What are they going to be doing? It's something that it got to do with
the Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks, right? That tracks. Government efficiency. So you're looking at all of the government agencies, making sure that they run most efficient. Am I reading that right?
To dismantle bureaucracy.
It's saying Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy, but that's not who you're referring to.
That's him. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know he was a billionaire.
I didn't know it either until I think yesterday or so.
Okay.
I saw something about him being a billionaire as well. So that makes sense. The two billionaires, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Vivek Ramaswamy. He was a presidential nominee as well. Back in.
Oh, I don't know that name at all.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we shall see. That's all I keep saying is we shall see.
Yeah, it's definitely buckle up.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this next story.
You're going to jail. You can get out.
Shocking. A white police officer in Ohio detained his daughter's 18-year-old black boyfriend for no reason. At 6 p.m. on the 16th, Makai Coleman and his girlfriend, Caitlin Kovach, were traveling in the same direction as John Kovach Jr.'s patrol car on West 34th Street. In a piece of car log video, Kovach can be seen pulling over without notifying dispatch.
You can get out. You're going to jail. Get out.
He pulls Makai over and orders him to come to the police car to be investigated. It was only then that he realized his daughter was in the back seat of his boyfriend's car.
I didn't even see you. Get out of the car. Get in my car.
Kovach told Makai to get out of the patrol car, and he forced his daughter into the patrol car.
You can't take me. I am 18. You have to give me a reason. By law, why are you fucking me? Why are you fucking pushing me? Why are you doing this?
Caitlin Kovach, 18, and Makai Coleman have been together since high school. But Kovach was adamantly against her daughter being with him and said Makai was not a good person. In the aftermath, the 26-year veteran patrolman was fired for abusing his police powers and seriously deviating from proper protocol in this incident.
You can get out.
This is the first time I've seen somebody get some kind of justice or some kind of real substantial punishment, rather, is what I should say.
Yeah, I was surprised when they said he was fired. Like, what? No suspension with pay first?
Right.
What are we doing here?
I'm sure that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was that? Did it say?
I didn't catch where it was at.
Okay, that's not important.
Where is that?
But that's crazy. I mean, that speaks. I feel like that speaks to the fear of a lot of people, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about in terms of voters and people not being ready for a change. Because the fact that his daughter's 18 and he's clearly been harboring this for a while since they've been dating since high school. So,
it's gonna be more of that. Definitely.
Those are totally the people that we need to give.
I guess, but like, were they doing anything wrong? Like, what was what?
Right? Yeah, they didn't cover that.
I didn't catch that part. Is to see if were they speeding or something like that, or was he just telling them just to wait for the right opportunity to pull him over and whatever is. But now that we're gonna have the police gonna have this immunity.
Exactly. Yeah.
What does that mean? Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
Free kills.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. They've been free killing already. Now it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be for sport. And
because that ideology just does not even make sense at all. Like it's crazy that can even possibly be something that's on the docket for to go through, and hopefully it doesn't. But
something tells me a lot of these things are going to go through because who's going to stop it? And even I feel like even though there may be some Republicans that's able to make some of these decisions, and they may have a good heart, so to speak, but I think they'll be influenced by those who don't. They'll be influenced by the majority, and so even they'll just have to kind of like in a sense grin and bear it because they don't want to be the outcast. This is going to be one of those situations like I don't want to be on the outside, and in this particular time, I'd rather be with the in crowd, and that's what's going to be the reason why a lot of these things get passed. It's sad.
It's sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give me a little bus pass, because I am terrified. I mean, I drive scary anyway, so I can only imagine now. Just it could be the little thing. Well, you might have a tail light out that you didn't know about. You may, even scared to even get in a fender bender because you don't know how that can turn out. Like, even though you may have been in the right, depending on who you in the fender bender with, now you can look like you were the one in the wrong. So it's so many gray areas, and it's uncomfortable, very much so.
Or you could just be at the wrong place at the wrong time and be the scapegoat that they need.
Literally nothing.
That is true, and I think it's going to be more of that. Definitely more of that. So yeah, it's. Lord, well, I ain't no busting run out here, but if it did, I would be on it.
I feel like that poses so many other questions. I'm just thinking about that, like the fact of, officers having that immunity. So then it's only like so much that you can get away with, you know what I mean? So like if you're actually pulled over and then it's something like egregious that happens to you, it's like, because they get automatic immunity, does that then mean like you don't even go to trial for this? Is it like just automatically their word against yours in terms of what happened? You know what I mean? Like just so many gray areas there, because it's like, will we even need body cams anymore? Like all of those things. So.
Well, I don't think we will need them. I think right now it's been more so just a technicality or formality to have them. And I think, think about it now. They go to trial, right? And get off. Nothing really happens. So now we can save the money. That's how some people are going to look at it from the financial aspect of it. We'll save the money. Don't go to no need for a trial. We see what happened. You were in the wrong. They'll find a way to say you did this, and so then it'd be, hey, kind of a closed case.
Yeah. And I wonder will body cams just not be required anymore? I don't know if that's a federal thing or if it's a state.
No, it's always been a local thing, actually.
Yeah.
You said it is a local thing, Brian?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see if the states keep them.
I'm sure all of those lovely red states will scrap them.
They will. And I believe you. I believe that too, Hayward. And I also feel like people, I don't know what is really going on in their mind to think that, it's criminals. People out here doing some wrong shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you think it's not going to apply to you, it's not just going to be one group of people. It's going to be more than that. And I think that's when the wake up is going to be, is like, oh, damn, you doing this to me? You know what I'm saying? That's when the people are going to wake up and be like, oh, okay, this ain't how it's supposed to be, or this ain't how I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be you guys getting all the Hispanics out of the country. I thought y'all was going to just, target the blacks, but now I'm in the hot seat. This ain't how, that's when it's going to be a wake up call for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just on a different subject. I was watching a news story today of this Hispanic guy. It was basically an expose on 2 Hispanic families. One of them were not in support of Trump. The other was. And this, he basically said he's voted for Trump. What is that part I didn't understand real quick? He's undocumented, but can you still vote?
I was hearing that too, and I didn't understand what that meant. I was hearing that some undocumented workers, and I'm like, how does that work? How the hell do you register? I've heard that too. And
So that kind of threw me off too, because I was like, well, how can you? It don't make sense. But he was very much so in support of Trump, and he said that he said he voted for because of from the financial aspect. He felt like the economy is going to be a lot better under his administration. And so I think the reporter asked him, well, if you get deported, what are you going to do? What is your reaction? He said, I'll still be in support of Trump, and I will just, leave and never come back.
All right, Colt.
Right.
Yeah, around the whole time of who was eating the cats? Ohio?
Nation. Oh, Ohio. Yeah.
Springfield.
Yeah, around
the ones that shot up that Spirit airline.
Right.
Around that time, they were talking about that so many 45. They gave out this number and said that the undocumented workers brought this amount in through tax. And that was the second thing that I heard. And I was just like, how in the hell is an undocumented worker paying taxes? Like,
they pay taxes.
You said they can
tax. Yeah.
How?
So
How do they work?
oftentimes they're using someone's social security number to work. And so the business still collects the taxes, but at the end of the year, they can't file a tax return and get like a refund for anything overpaid. So oftentimes illegal immigrants do in fact pay taxes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
See, that's I learned.
But how would they know? Like, if we can pinpoint that much, like we should be able to
determine like if they're using an illegal.
Yeah, because Brian, I wouldn't come to you if you undocumented to work through your social security number. So how do they know that person has an undocumented worker using it? And the reason that I ask is because I've done this before, and I'm I'm documented. I needed to be undocumented for unemployment. So I'm trying to. I don't know what the statute of limitations is.
Look, I was about to say, are you not about to incriminate yourself? Are you?
You should know. You should know that I'm not. But allegedly. So Brian, if I go out if I need to work and I use your ID. Like, how do you classify that as undocumented? Because I'm not going to go use an illegal. I'm going to go use a legal, not an illegal.
I don't know the ins and outs.
Yeah, but that's just really weird. That was the second time, that I heard that they said undocumented workers voted whatever the percentage was for Trump, and then on the Harris side, they were like, this many undocumented workers pays this much in tax, so the cities thrive and the state is thrive. And I'm like, well, now wait a minute. Now some stuff, like, I'm not one of them people that you talk to, and when you're talking, I'm like, yeah. Like, I purposely don't do that because you persuade people easy. Like, what's going on here? Something is weird. But
because in my mind, I thought they were just getting paid underneath the table.
Like cash, just paid off.
Yeah, like cash payments.
But I mean, there are a lot of undocumented workers, like to Brian's point, that will use other people's social security numbers because they're working like real jobs. It's not like they're just doing, like woodwork or like yard work. They're doing like actual
legit jobs.
Yeah,
just in somebody else's name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
job one time.
Somebody dead? No, I'm being for real. Like,
could be somebody's name. It could be a made fake ID itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like they created an ID.
Probably the same information, right? But just their photo. Like, just, people are creative these days. So
wow.
Folks, we're not giving any disclaimers on, creating fake identities. We're just
no legal advice here.
Right. No.
Not at all. Not at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so some stuff like I just wish the world went different, because it's like a couple of things I want to say. It's like when the magnifying glass is on a particular situation, everybody jumps on that situation. And I think that's what happened with this election. Like, this was a hot topic. And so it made people either say, I'm not voting, or I'm going to do this for shock value. Like, this is not the time to give us a shock value. Like, people's life are at stake here, like, seriously. So I don't know.
But to be
fair,
thing
I think with the LGBT community, like, I feel like there's such a light that's shining on that subject, and it's just like people have to have an opinion. Like, some people don't even know anything about the community, so how the hell you have an opinion? You see what I'm saying? It's just like you just got to jump on it because it's the highlight, and I just feel like that does us a disjustice.
Yeah,
Sure.
it does, but unfortunately, it happens every 4 years, every election cycle, when people want to feel like they want to be involved or make a difference, or just like you say, just have an opinion.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I agree.
Well, you know, the current president and the former president recently had a meeting. So let's take a look.
Former President, thank you, Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So, good. Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much, and thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Looks like we may have lost Stovall for a second. Some people have been giving Biden a hard time about this, and they were saying, well, you know, hey, if you had so much to say about him, and then now you're welcoming him, you know, into the White House, it's like they're saying it's like a contradiction.
I mean, he can have his opinions, but at the end of the day, this is like the legalities of it. So he has to. He's not going to sit up there and, you know, pick it and say, oh, no, we don't want Trump, or we don't want Trump here. Like, you know what I mean? It's about the trash talking. It's like in any game or whatever, you're going to trash talk, but at the end, you're going to shake hands and be a good sport, you know? So.
Yeah, I think he's intentional with everything. I mean, following the protocol, definitely, but I think he's intentional about it because he definitely wants to show, hey, we're going to do it this way, even though you did not. I want to show you I'm a man of whatever standard or what have you.
Yeah.
Integrity, things of that nature. So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say, Brian? You
No, and I think we're still kind of on the what was that Michelle Obama had said, when they go low, we go high. I think there's still some people that are kind of sticking to that mentality, and that's kind of what this was in this case. Whether we need to or not, I personally am of the opinion that it's a good look, that we can be graceful in defeat, as much as we may not want to.
Yeah. I agree. Hold on one second. There we go.
Sorry, I think my internet went out.
Are you good? You good? We were just reviewing a little clip of President Biden and President-elect Trump meeting. I think they met yesterday, and so they were, you know, shaking hands, stuff like that. And I was saying that a lot of people gave pushback or criticism to Biden for being so I don't want to say welcoming, but they're basically following protocol. And they were thinking that he should have been standoffish and all that kind of stuff, or for everything that he was saying about, you know, President-elect Trump prior to. So
we can't talk about the crazy one that acts crazy and say he's crazy, and then want the other one to not act crazy. I mean, to act crazy when I disagree.
Yeah. So I agree. And then everyone's favorite, he just made a interesting statement. Let's take a look.
We will reduce a lot of government headcount, but we're going to give, I think, like very long severances, like 2 years or something like that. So, look, just go do something else is what we're going to say, and you'll get paid for 2 years. You know, and so you got a lot of time to go and figure out something else to do. The point is not to be cruel or to have people not be able to pay their mortgage or anything. It's just we just have too many people in the government sector, and they could be more productive elsewhere.
Where could they be more productive?
Great question.
Black jobs.
Where can they be more productive? That was my question. And what are you supposed to do after 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, and let's be really honest here. You know, he pulled the same thing with Twitter/X. He laid off a bunch of people, promised them severance, and that severance has never been paid. I mean, that's been going on for years.
Oh, really?
So. When he talks about layoffs and severance, he is lying through his teeth.
What? Can you give a little bit more, Brian? I don't think we're aware. So when Twitter went to X, that's when the layoff was, or some other time?
When he bought Twitter, he laid off a substantial amount of their workforce. Don't get me wrong, I think some people did actually get severance pay, but there were a lot of people that were promised severance that just never came. And it's a situation where, you know, I think there were so many of them, and potentially the terms of their contracts or whatever the case may be made it very difficult for them to cut through the red tape and actually, you know, like go to court and actually sue to get the money that they were owed.
Wow.
Wow.
He's an awful person.
So you're saying
just to be clear,
lose their jobs and ain't gonna have nothing.
Could possibly.
I mean, I wouldn't believe him if he says you're going to give you severance pay. No.
Yeah.
Whether it's the federal government or his private company.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I never knew.
Scary. That's very scary because a lot of people have government jobs with the intent of that's really security.
Yeah.
More so, you think of in the private sector, that's where there's no security. But you know, I wonder what DC is going to look like 6 months from now.
Yeah.
You know,
totally different.
Yeah, like, you know, how many people are still going to, I think they said it's like 3 million people that work at the Pentagon. What is that going to go down to? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He got
if he's on the efficiency council, it'll be his council that says, yeah, the government doesn't need this many people for it to run. This is okay. This is all making sense.
And they're going to get rid of, and who they're going to get rid of, is the people that go against their thinking.
Yeah.
And so that's it. So then what are you going to have? People that are going to conform. People are going to just be, listen, I got to do this. I got to say this to save my job, feed my family.
Yeah, very true. And I don't know a lot about like just the cabinet positions and being held, but like what are there no like prerequisites or like no, you know, what do you have to have a background in to be in these spots, you know, other than being appointed by the president? Like,
but as you can see, you don't have to have a lot of, if you look at some of the appointees or the nominees as it's currently, they don't have the experience. I mean, what's that guy that's the Fox, the
Fox News anchor, I know who you're talking about.
You're getting rid of the 4-star general to put him in place. He served in the military, but he don't have any like experience. You know what I'm saying? And so you got that. As a matter of fact, I think that's the same gentleman that said he doesn't believe that women should be in combat.
Wow.
Yeah. So think of all this, and very much so look at who he's choosing to do these things. It's very, very whitewashed.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I think those people, what's that man, the with the gums? Tim.
Oh, Tim, I would have had it. I know who you're talking about.
What's his name? I know he is pissed right now. Tim Scott.
Did y'all see the guy he put for the border? I'm like, you look like you'll let the little children stay in the jail with the little aluminum foil blanket and cry. Like, he don't look like he has any type of. No, seriously, when they announced that on the news, I was just looking at him like, your face doesn't have empathy. It doesn't have, I don't know.
Here's the other piece of it that people don't, you know, realize. Like, I know a lot of people are like taking these positions like because it's a big deal, yada yada yada. But then if you think about it, if they were to really think about how his last administration went, like he had appointed all these people and was cutting their ass left and right. So once he gets what he wants from you, you out of there. And then what's going to happen to you then? See, people aren't thinking of their long game. They're thinking of a short-term thing. And really should be thinking long-term. And he's thinking long-term, but they're not. And that's, you know, I know his professor or whoever said he was dumb, but I think they might have said he wasn't the smartest person, probably as it relates to book smart. But the guy is very smart as it relates to the streets, so to speak, because he knows how to maneuver and he knows how to do what he needs to do, who he needs to play to get what he wants. And the sad part about it is all these players don't realize they're being played in the long run.
And I think a big part of like the scary part about a lot of these appointments is we look back to 2016 and all the people that he appointed, and they all, eventually left for various reasons. And a big part of that was they wouldn't fall in line, or they weren't willing to stretch as far as he wanted them to. It's 8 years later. These people are towing the company line 100%.
Yeah.
And that's fucking scary. Pardon my language. But he's choosing these people because they don't question Trump. They will do, they are party line for sure.
Which is scary.
It's very scary.
And in my opinion, I suspect that that's a big part of why he's choosing them. Like, think of Matt Gaetz, who he appointed to Attorney General, who's actively being investigated for sex trafficking.
Yes,
this is the person that's supposed to be enforcing laws. That
is insane.
Yeah, there's a reason he chose him, and that's because he will fall in line.
I guess as we wrap up here, my last question for you guys will be: what is your biggest concern for America post January 20th?
The boldness of these people.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest concern is probably just not knowing what to expect, the unexpected. I think that's probably the biggest fear, because you just don't know from one corner to the next, like, what's going to happen. So about being prepared for whatever may come.
I just think about so much permanent changes happening, and then it taking so long to be changed back.
To piggyback off what you're saying, Stovall, I think I'm concerned about permanent changes being made, but I'm also more so concerned about these permanent changes being made and they remaining permanent. That's my fear, because if you think about it, a lot of states still have certain things on their law books that now will be no repercussions about them being enforced. And so how it's not a matter of them going back to things going back to normal. It's just like, it's scary to think that some of these things that are being implemented will be permanent, and that'll be our new normal. Everything that so many people have fought for, it's sad. And what pains me the most is I don't really think people took this serious, or as serious as they should have, to think about, I can see, and don't get me wrong, I can see how people can vote for from the financial aspect, thinking, financially, this, that, and third. However, because I think the biggest complaint was that the Democrats have forgotten about the middle class. And that was one of the big things that people were saying as a reason why Harris might have lost the elections, because Democrats have forgotten about the middle class. And I have to sit back and think sometimes, not that I'm not middle class, but when they start telling some of the stories of people that are, not knowing where they're going to get their next meal from, and, maybe 2 or 3 months behind on their rent. That, to me, I have to check myself and realize, damn, I'm kind of far removed from that type of thinking, because that's not my everyday life. But so I can see how they may feel like they're being forgotten about, even though I feel like I'm middle class. But I guess I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But so that's unfortunate. And they feel like, so even though that $1,200 stimulus check that, we don't really know where it came from. Somebody say he did, but they saw that it's tangible, it's help, it's something I can take to the bank. I can, it's something I can pay my rent. I can give my kids something to eat. So those things are tangible. So you disagree, Hayward?
I do. I think the $1,200 stimulus check just kind of like infuriates me sometimes, because I think, like, for people, I don't think it was a middle class that were like grasping onto that and saying like, hey, like, this is great. Like, this saved me, like the savior came, and, everything is great. I think it's really like for those people, that select class of people who choose like not to do anything. Like, if you take everything out of the equation, take the election out of the equation, those will be the same people complaining about something else and not getting enough handouts, or not getting enough this, or not getting enough that. Not saying that it's not a necessity, but it's like, what are you what are you doing to contribute to your own well-being as well? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like that $1,200 for over 4 years, like that was enough for you to vote for this person again. You know what I mean? Like, just to think of it in the big picture, it's like, how does that really fall in line with everything else? You know, so
it's more of a recency bias. That's what recently happened for a lot of people. So that's what sticks in their mind. You know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate, but here we are. So we'll see how it all plans out. So
yeah.
I just wish, moving further before you wrap up, I wish this election people can talk about it and give classes or have these podcasts about it, that when it comes to humanity versus party, like, which one is greater? You know what I mean? I know you were asking about this question, and I hope that we can answer it, but like, this election taught me that humanity to me is greater than a political party. And at what part of that campaign can we separate things? Like, these people started to not be for humanity, and it was just for policy. And it's just like, can policy really rule this world by itself?
And for almost like non-existent policy, because truth be told, Trump never laid out any policies.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah. But if you think about a regular company, like, you have a regular company, you have operating principles and policies and all that, but you also have, diverse D&I. You know what I mean? Like, why did D&I come along if it was never needed? Like, think about the rallies that we have to push D&I. So, like, American government don't need D&I. You know what I mean? Like, there's no humanity side. Like, there was nothing. I just felt like it was no humanity side during that campaign. And I'm like, how do we rule the world with no humanity, or there were no mindset of that? I just don't think we can.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I saw a meme today. Not that memes should necessarily be a source of inspiration, but it sarcastically said that the German people have a word for people who fell in line with the Nazi party for things like a stronger economy. That word is Nazi. Like, you don't get to say it's about the economy when you know what you just said, Kim. When lacking humanity, that is a huge thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people, when you're talking about people that don't look like you or that don't love like you or whatever, sometimes they don't care about that, and
they don't care.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Well, we can hope for the best, guys. We can hope for the best.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our uplift. Today we're going to look to Mrs. Shirley Ralph for our uplift. So let's see what she had to say.
And to all of you watching here, come close to the screen and listen. People don't have to like you. People don't have to love you. They don't even have to respect you. But when you look in the mirror, you better love what you see. You better love what you see.
And there you have it. You better love what you see. You better love what you see. But before I let you guys go, I do want to try something a little differently this week. So, as we all know, I go to therapy every week. I know you don't think I need it, but I do. So a question was raised today, and I want to pose it to you guys. Don't answer right now. I want you to give it some thought, and maybe the next time we're all together, you can provide your answers. So my question is to you all is, what does being unapologetic mean to you? What does being unapologetic mean to you? And for anybody viewing that would like to comment on this, what does unapologetic mean to you? I would love to hear what everyone has to say. No, Brian, I'm not trying to get you guys to do my homework, because I already know. I never circle back on my other homework that I had that one day. I now I forgot the question, but I did have an answer for it. But yeah, so just interesting. And I just like to hear everybody else's perspective on that. So what does being unapologetic mean to you? So, all right, guys, thank you for another great episode. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page, IG, TikTok, and we will see you all soon.
Bye-bye.